starfall whispers. The crystalline spires of Aurelia Prime glittered against the backdrop of 3 moons hanging like jewels in the night sky. Maya Chen stood at the observation deck, her breath creating small clouds on the glass as she watched. The Earth vessels approach. "Are those really our saviors?" asked Ambassador Saria, her violet skin pulsing with bioluminescent patterns that betrayed her anxiety. Earth answered the distress call, Maya replied, adjusting her translator. That's more than any other system offered. Maya had spent 5 years studying the Aurelian language and culture, never expecting to become the bridge between 2 civilizations on the brink of annihilation. The Nexus swarm had already consumed 12 systems, their hive intelligence growing stronger with each world they absorbed. The docking bay doors parted with a mechanical groan as Earth's delegation marched forward. Maya's heart sank when she saw the weaponry they carried. These weren't diplomats. They were warriors. General Kai Cooper led the procession, his face bearing a scar that ran from temple to jaw. His eyes scanned the chamber, calculating escape routes and defensive positions before settling on Maya. "You must be the translator," he said, his voice unexpectedly soft. "General Kai Cooper, Earth Defense Force, Dr. Maya Chen, Xenolinguistics Division." She extended her hand, which he took after a moment's hesitation. His touch was warm, despite the coldness in his eyes. Ambassador Saria stepped forward, her movements graceful despite her obvious fear. "We expected more ships, General." Maya translated, watching Kai's expression harden. "Earth sent what it could spare," he replied. "1 battle cruiser, 4 destroyer-class vessels, and my special operations team. The best Earth has to offer." When Maya translated, the Aurelians exchanged worried glances. The Nexus swarm destroyed our outer colonies in days. Saria continued, "They'll be here within a lunar cycle. Then we have work to do." Kai nodded to his team, who began unloading equipment. Later that evening, Maya found Kai alone in the Strategic Command Center studying Aurelian defense systems. "They're afraid of you," Maya said, leaning against the doorframe. "Good," he replied without looking up. "Fear keeps people alert, makes them listen." "Is that why you cultivate that whole scary general persona?" His eyes flickered to her face, a ghost of a smile playing at his lips. "Is that what you think I'm doing, Dr. Chen?" "I think there's more to General Kai Cooper than war strategies and weapons." He straightened his posture professional once more. "You're mistaken. I am exactly what Earth made me to be, a weapon aimed at the enemy." "And what happens when the fighting ends?" Maya asked. Something vulnerable flashed across his features before disappearing behind his soldier's mask. "The fighting never ends, Dr. Chen. That's the first lesson of war." As he brushed past her, their shoulders touched, sending an unexpected warmth through Maya's body. She watched him walk away, wondering what scars he carried beneath his uniform and if anyone had ever tried to heal them. The alarm sounded 3 hours later. Nexus scouts had breached the outer defense ring. They had arrived sooner than anyone predicted. The war had begun. Violet battlegrounds. The command center erupted into chaos as holographic displays showed the Nexus scout ships penetrating Aurelia's outer defense grid. Maya watched in horror as the bioluminescent patterns across Ambassador Saria's skin flashed. In distress patterns, they shouldn't have penetrated our sensors. Saria whispered. "It's as if they knew exactly where to strike." Kai strode into the center, barking orders to his team. "Jackson, deploy countermeasures. Reyes, get our fighters in the air." His eyes met Maya's across the room. "Dr. Chen, I need you with me. The Aurelians need to understand our tactics without delay." The ground shook as Maya hurried alongside Kai toward the hangar bay. "Where are we going?" she asked, struggling to match his pace to the front lines. He replied, checking his tactical display. "The Nexus uses a hive mind. Their scouts are gathering intelligence. If we don't stop them now, the main swarm will know every weakness in Aurelia's defenses." Maya grabbed his arm. "I'm a linguist, not a soldier." His expression softened momentarily. "I need someone who speaks their language. Trust me." The hangar was a blur of activity as Aurelian pilots with their shimmering violet skin rushed to their fighters' Earths. Special forces were already boarding their combat shuttles, their black armor, a stark contrast to the crystal and silver of Aurelian technology. "Stay close," Kai said as they boarded his command shuttle. "And take this." He handed her a small sidearm. "I've never fired a weapon before," Maya admitted. "Let's hope today isn't your first time." The shuttle broke atmosphere, plunging into the chaos of battle. Nexus scouts swarmed like insects, their organic technology pulsing with sickly green light as they fired upon Aurelian fighters. They're targeting communication arrays, Maya realized, watching the pattern of attacks. "They want to isolate the defense platforms," Kai nodded. "Smart. Tell the Aurelian commander to focus fire on these coordinates." He pointed to a cluster of scout ships. Maya relayed the message through her translator. The Aurelian squadron leader, Commander Terrace, acknowledged and redirected his forces. For 20 minutes, they seemed to be gaining ground. Then 3 massive Nexus carriers emerged from hyperspace, disgorging hundreds more scout ships. "We need to retreat," Maya urged as their shuttle rocked from a near miss. "Not yet." Kai's eyes narrowed, studying the enemy formation. "There's a pattern here. Something's controlling these scouts locally." He pointed to a larger vessel hanging back from the main battle. "That's their command ship." Kai took control of the shuttle, diving through the chaotic battlefield. Maya's knuckles whitened as she gripped her seat. The shuttle's weapon systems blazed to life as Kai targeted the command vessel. "All Earth forces converge on my position," he ordered. "Aurelian fighters provide cover." Their small force punched through the Nexus defensive screen. As they approached the command ship, Maya saw strange organic patterns flowing across its surface. "It's changing," she whispered. "It's adapting," Kai corrected. "Jackson, deploy the EMP warheads now." 3 missiles streaked toward the command vessel, exploding in brilliant blue light. The organic ship convulsed as electrical energy coursed through it. Immediately, the scout ships became erratic, some colliding with each other, others flying aimlessly. "It worked," Maya breathed. "For now," Kai said grimly. "But the main swarm will learn. From this, the next attack will be immune to the same tactic." As they returned to Aurelia, Maya noticed blood seeping through Kai's uniform. "You're hurt," she said, moving to examine the wound on his shoulder. "It's nothing," he insisted, but didn't pull away as her fingers gently probed the injury. "You could have been killed," she murmured. "That last attack nearly hit our engine core." Something unspoken passed between them as her eyes met his. In that moment, he wasn't General Cooper, the weapon. He was simply Kai, a man fighting for survival. "Why did Earth really answer the call?" Maya asked softly. "One battle cruiser won't stop the Nexus." "Because if Aurelia falls, Earth is next," he admitted. "And because some battles are worth fighting even when victory seems impossible." As Maya bandaged his wound, she felt his eyes studying her face, and for the first time since the Earth forces arrived, she saw something besides calculation in his gaze, something dangerously close to hope. Fractured alliance. Aurelian moonlight filtered through the council chamber's crystal dome, casting rainbow shadows across the faces of those gathered. The victory against the Nexus scouts had bought them precious time, but tensions between the allies were rising. "Your tactics endangered our civilian vessels, General Cooper." High Counselor Naran's voice echoed through the chamber, his violet skin pulsing with agitation. 17 Aurelian pilots lost their lives. Maya translated carefully, watching Kai's jaw tighten. She could sense his frustration brewing beneath his controlled exterior. "Those pilots died saving millions," Kai responded, his voice measured. "The Nexus would have breached your inner defenses without our intervention." When Maya translated, Ambassador Saria stepped forward, her expression conciliatory. "We are grateful for Earth's assistance, but our people are not warriors like yours, General. We cannot sustain such losses." "Then they will die anyway," Kai said bluntly. "The Nexus doesn't accept surrender, it consumes, it assimilates, there is no middle ground." The harsh words sparked outrage among the Aurelian Council. Maya struggled to maintain diplomatic tone as she translated heated exchanges. Eventually, Kai stormed out, Maya following close behind. "That went well," she remarked, catching up to him in the corridor. "Politicians," he muttered. "They still think there's a diplomatic solution." "Not everyone sees war as the only option, Kai." He stopped, turning to face her. "Look around you, Maya. This isn't about options, it's about survival. The Nexus main swarm will arrive within days. We detected their hyperspace signature this morning." Maya felt the blood drain from her face. "You didn't tell the Council." "I'm telling you." His eyes softened unexpectedly. "We're evacuating Earth's personnel tonight. I want you on that transport." "You're giving up on Aurelia." Maya stepped back, disbelief washing over her. "I'm being realistic." He reached for her arm, but she pulled away. "The battle cruiser will stay. We'll fight as long as we can, but you're a civilian. You should be safe." "These people trusted us." Maya's voice broke. "They trusted me." Something flickered across his face, regret perhaps, or shame. "This isn't your war." "It became my war the moment Earth answered their call," she countered. Later that night, Maya stood on her quarters balcony, watching Aurelia's 3 moons rise. She heard the door slide open behind her. "You missed the transport." Kai's voice was quiet. "I'm staying." She didn't turn around. Someone needs to tell the Aurelians that not all humans abandon their allies. She felt him move closer until he stood beside her, his shoulder nearly touching hers. "I've seen too many worlds fall, Maya. I've watched good people die believing they could make a difference." "Maybe that's why we keep fighting," she replied, "because their belief matters." When she finally looked at him, she was surprised to see vulnerability in his eyes. "I reviewed your file," he said unexpectedly. "Graduated top of your class at the academy. Turned down a prestigious research position to study an alien language no one thought would ever be strategically valuable." A ghost of a smile touched his lips. "You're either the most dedicated scientist I've ever met or the most stubborn." "Maybe both." Maya found herself smiling despite everything. The moment stretched between them, charged with unspoken words, until Kai's hand reached up hesitantly to brush a strand of hair from her face, his fingers lingering against her cheek. "Maya." He whispered her name like a question. She answered by closing the distance between them. Their lips met tentatively at first, then with growing urgency. His arms encircled her, pulling her against the solid warmth of his chest. Her fingers traced the scar on his face as the kiss deepened. When they finally broke apart, both breathless, Kai rested his forehead against hers. "I can't promise you victory." "I'm not asking for victory," Maya replied. "Just promise me you won't give up on Aurelia. Not yet." A communication alert interrupted the moment Kai reluctantly checked his tactical pad, his expression shifting to alert focus. "What is it?" Maya asked. "Our sensors detected something unusual in the Nexus communication patterns," he said. "Commander Terrace believes they've found a weakness in the hive mind." Hope flickered in Maya's chest. "Where?" "The abandoned research station on Aurelian moon. Epsilon." Kai's eyes met hers with renewed determination. "And we're going there now." Silent stars speak. The research station on Epsilon hung suspended in lunar twilight, its abandoned corridors echoing with the footsteps of Maya, Kai, and a small team of Earth and Aurelian specialists. Commander Terrace led the Aurelian contingent, his violet skin barely illuminating the darkness. The station was researching quantum communications before the Nexus attacked, Maya explained, translating Terrace's words. They were developing technology that could potentially disrupt the Nexus hive mind. "Why didn't they deploy it?" Kai asked, scanning the shadows, his weapon ready. "They never finished," Maya replied. "The project was theoretical." They reached the central laboratory where dormant equipment lined the walls. Ancient dust covered consoles that hadn't been touched in years. Dr. Amira Jensen, Earth's leading xenobiologist, examined the Aurelian technology. These frequency modulators could theoretically create a disruption field, but we'd need to broadcast from within the Nexus. Flagship, a suicide mission. Terrace stated his translator. Crackling Kai and Maya exchanged glances. Not necessarily. Kai said, "My team has infiltrated hostile vessels before." As the scientists worked, Maya found Kai alone in the observatory staring at the stars. She approached him silently, placing her hand over his. "You're planning to lead the mission yourself," she said. He didn't deny it. "Someone has to. I'm going with you." Maya's voice allowed no argument. "You need a translator for the Aurelian technology, Maya." His voice broke as he turned to her, pulling her close. "I can't lose you." Their lips met desperately, hands clinging to each other in the starlight, both knowing what tomorrow might bring. "We found something," Dr. Jensen called, interrupting. Them. They discovered that the Nexus communicated through quantum entanglement. The research station had been developing a counter-frequency. The plan formed quickly. A small team would infiltrate the Nexus flagship, deploy the disruptor, and escape. Before the hive mind collapsed as they prepared to leave, Maya noticed Kai placing something in her pack. "What's that?" she asked. "Insurance?" he replied, his eyes meeting hers with an intensity that took her breath away. "Promise me you'll use it if things go wrong." She kissed him once more, sealing a promise. Neither spoke aloud. Beyond the void, the Nexus flagship loomed before them, a massive organic structure pulsing with sickly light. Their infiltration shuttle approached, using captured scout ship signatures to mask their presence. 2 minutes to docking, Reyes announced from the pilot's seat. Maya felt Kai's hand squeeze hers beneath the tactical table. Their eyes met, a lifetime of words passing between them in silence. The insertion was flawless. Kai's team secured their entry point while Maya and Dr. Jensen carried the disruptor device deeper into the living ship. The organic corridors pulsed around them as if the vessel itself was breathing. "The central node should be ahead," Maya whispered, translating the Aurelian schematics. "We need to plant the device directly into the neural cluster." They reached the central chamber, a massive cavern filled with glowing organic tendrils, all connecting to a pulsing core. "There," Kai pointed. "That's our target." As they approached, alarms shrieked throughout the ship. The Nexus had detected them. "We need more time," Dr. Jensen called, working frantically to calibrate the device. "Maya, get that thing working," Kai ordered. "We'll hold them off." Nexus. Drones swarmed into the chamber. Kai and his team formed a defensive perimeter as Maya and Jensen worked desperately. The device activated with a high-pitched whine. The neural core convulsed as disruption waves penetrated its consciousness. "It's working," Maya shouted over the chaos. "We need to go now." But Kai had been separated from them, fighting a losing battle against overwhelming numbers. "Kai!" Maya screamed, seeing him fall beneath multiple attackers. His eyes found hers across the chamber. "Get to the shuttle," he commanded. "That's an order." With a silent prayer, Maya activated the device she'd found in her pack. Kai's insurance. A localized teleportation field enveloped him, yanking him through space to her side. "You didn't think I'd leave without you," she said, helping him up. They raced for the extraction point as the flagship began to disintegrate around them, the disruption spreading through the hive mind like a virus. The shuttle barely escaped as the massive ship imploded. Weeks later, Maya stood on the balcony of the Aurelian High Council chamber watching reconstruction begin. Kai joined her, his uniform replaced by civilian clothes, his hand finding hers. "Earth is sending a diplomatic corps," he said. "Real diplomats, this time, Ambassador Chen." Maya smiled. "And what about General Cooper?" "He retired." Kai pulled her close. "Turns out there's life after war after all." As Aurelia's 3 moons rose, they stood together, bathed in violet light. 2 worlds brought together by war but united by something stronger than fear, hope.